Hip cars, we have two different variations. We have standing, and then we have a side lying. There's many ways you can do this. You can do this from hands and knees. You can do this from a seated position. There's a lot of different capacities in which you can do this, but these are the two that I prefer, and they're easiest to do kind of with the constraints of life. So I'm gonna grab something to hold on to for balance, whether that's a wall, a rack, a pole, a foam roller. And then from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand on one leg. Now, I'm going to pull the knee in towards my chest as the opposite foot comes up to my opposite shoulder. I'm gonna pull up in this externally rotated position as much as I can, trying to isolate just this hip. Once I can't go any further, I drop the ankle under the knee. Then from there, I open to the outside as far as I can without letting my whole hip rotate this way. Just this individual hip moves. Keeping this knee as high as I can, I'm going to internally rotate. So I'm gonna turn this leg in as I pull the ankle as high as I can, keeping the knee high as I pull back behind me into extension, feeling the hamstring and the glute. Then I'm gonna lower back down. I can rebend the knee, extend back behind me. Then I can open to the outside as high as I can without listing to the side. From there, I can drop the ankle, pull the knee nice and high. Keeping the knee coming up, I'll pull back so it's in line with my hip, externally rotate, and control back down. Then I can cycle into the other side or continue with more reps from there. Then the side lying variation is one where I'm going to come to lie on my side. From here, what I'm gonna do is in this position, I'm gonna start in a straight line. The opposite hand comes out perpendicular to my body, and then I'm gonna clasp my hand so I can create a lot of tension here. Now, I'm gonna keep this hip closed, so I'm not gonna roll back towards the ceiling. From this position, I'm gonna pull my knee as high into my chest as I can. From there, I'm gonna open as far away from the floor as I can, creating tension. I'm then gonna internally rotate, so I'm gonna rotate this leg this way, pulling the ankle high, pulling the knee with it as I work back into extension, being mindful of keeping the hip closed and not letting it rock back. As my knee comes behind me, I keep it bent, and then knees come back together. Now I reverse that where I go back into extension, feeling the hamstring and the glute, keeping this knee, this hip closed, and then I'm gonna open to the outside, and then going to rotate through the hip as I pull the knee high, ankle follows with, into my chest, and then re-extend back into that long position. Now, I can move through a few reps there, or I can rotate to the opposite side. But either way, there we have a standing hip car and a side lying hip car. Both are wonderful variations. The advantage to the side lying is that there's only so much compensation I can make with my hip, because the ground is providing a lot of stimulation in that I can't get into and push into the ground. So it keeps the movement a little bit more isolated in the working hip, which is beneficial. That said, there's a lot of neurology that can be gained from doing the standing variation and teaching yourself to isolate only the working leg.